Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. And today we'll be doing a deep dive into a player that Manchester United signed, and a player that we signed for the future. We do this when when it has been confirmed that Man United have signed a specific player, and we just kind of break it down into different categories and break it down into like what is expected of the player and his style of play and stuff. So we're going to just do that deep dive now into Cristian Orozco. So if you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit notification bell so you don't miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We're going to be breaking down things. We're going to be doing deep dives. The international break doesn't mean it's the end of football analysis and conversations. We're going to be talking Manchester United. We're going to be talking about players on international duty. Like, we're going to be breaking down so many things. So let's get right into it. And also, don't forget to join us on our live videos, Manchester United News Live, and all of that. We do that like every day now, and basically we'll just have conversations. You come on there, there's the opportunity to just put in the chat. Let's have conversations, and we could also invite you as a guest, depending on the conversations and all of that. And you will know how to, and we'll create an opportunity for you on how to reach out to us so that you can be featured as a guest in upcoming videos and stuff. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. We're going to be breaking down Cristian Orozco and also Manchester United's strategy for signing young players. So let's get right to it. Now, for the last 10 years, Man United has entered the transfer market, and it usually sounds like a car crash. This one we know for years has been going on. Loud, expensive, and often ending in disappointment. We are used to the 80 million gambles, the panic buys, and also the drama. But recently, something strange has been happening at Old Trafford. Something quiet, something focused, and something, dare I say, very smart. Just recently, United had a deal. Okay, before we get into this, I'll just tell you, obviously, like we've known this for the last 10 years since 2015 that I've been signing players, breaking transfer markets, bringing back Paul Pogba, Edinson Cavani, bringing back even players like older players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who made impact at least for one season, and second season was a struggle, but he still scored like 17 goals or so. Then we also, signing marquee signings like, Jadon Sancho, who didn't turn out well, amongst other things. But this past couple of years, we've been doing some shrewd business, signing players like Matthias de Ligt, who still has a lot to give, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. And we're signing Nusra Majraoui, for 17 million pounds. We're signing players like Diogo Leon now from South American League. And now, just recently, United see the deal. Let's not also forget Sekou Kone as well from an academy in Mali, as the case may be. So just recently, United see the deal for 17-year-old Colombian defensive midfielder. His name is Cristian Orozco, and he's usually, and unless you're plugged in directly into South American market youth football, South American youth football, you probably haven't heard of him. He plays for Fortaleza CEIF in Colombia, and I just saw a video of him scoring this weekend. He has 0 senior professional appearances to his name, but the fee, it is reported $1 million US, which is around 470 million pounds. No, 1,470,000 pounds. 1 million. That is the fact. Like, it is, yeah. Now, when the club is normally chasing players worth 90 times the amount, when they are spending 7 figures on a teenager without a senior debut, why Orozco? That's the question. Why spending why are they spending 7 figures on a teenager without a senior debut? I mean, why are we signing Orozco? The answer is simple. This is not just a youth signing. This is a cold, calculated, data-driven move that signals a fundamental change into how Man United is being run. The move is about avoiding the mistakes of the past and the ones that cost us Erling Haaland, Moises Caicedo, and also securing the future. Securing the future for Manchester United when it comes to young players and all of that. So we will dive deep and continue to talk more on this as we go. This is more like a player profile and also the strategy for Manchester United. Now, right now, signing Cristian Orozco means that we're securing the future of most vulnerable position in the squad, and that is the central midfield. We are also going to deep. We are going to do a deep forensic dive into Cristian Orozco. We'll break down his style of play, the unique stats that got him noticed, his potentials, his genuine weakness, and most importantly, how a 17-year-old from Colombia is actually the perfect tactical solution for Rúben Amorim's long-term system. Yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. So, like I said, this is more of a player that, replaces or covers one of the things that, we're lacking in Manchester United, which is the midfield. So stay with me, because this is a story of Manchester United finally playing chess and not checkers, right? So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the new strategy, which is learning from failure, right? Now, to understand Cristian Orozco, you have to understand basically the philosophy behind the signing. This is all part of a new strategic push led by our sporting hierarchy, and the message is very clear: balance big, immediate first team signings with high potential, low risk youth recruitment. For years, United has been burned by a lack of vision. We all remember the stories. We missed out on Bellingham. We also let Haaland slip away. And yes, we failed to secure Moises Caicedo before he blew up at Brighton. Those failures cost us hundreds of millions and set our midfield back years. Now, Orozco is the antidote to that. He is, to put it bluntly, United attempting to secure the next Caicedo, but before the rest of the world has a chance to see him play at senior level. Now, the planning around the transfer confirms this new smart approach. The deal, coordinated by lead scout Giuseppe Antonaccio, has been sealed and signed now, but it's valid from the summer of 2026. That's actually not a coincidence if you look at it. This means that he will arrive in Manchester immediately after his 18th birthday in July 2026. This allows the club to streamline work permits and immigration procedures, and then crucially give Orozco ample time to complete his current obligations and prepare psychologically for the massive shift to England. It is a planned phased acquisition, not a deadline day panic. This $1 million fee for a player with this kind of ceiling is an exceptionally low financial risk, offering the massive potential reward of securing a 50 to 60 million pound player down the line. It's how sustainable elite clubs are built. Now, with regards to his player profile, he is the natural recuperator. That is the kind of player we're looking at. What exactly are Man United buying for $1 million? Cristian Orozco is a pure defensive midfielder. This is not a box-to-box runner, nor is he a classic number 8 like Kobe Mainoo. No, he is the pivot, basically the anchor, the structural backbone of the team. He has already established himself as a key figure on the international youth scene, earning 9 caps for Colombia on the 17 national team, a highly competitive environment. And perhaps the most compelling qualitative attribute is his character. Orozco consistently captained the under-17 national team, leading them all the way to the final of the under-17 South American Championship. His youth coaches praised his immense character, saying he always showed leadership in practice and acted with the maturity of a young man with professional experience. For a defensive pivot, that maturity, the ability to organize and lead the players in front of you, is arguably more valuable than pure technique alone. But let's look at the style of play, because this is where the tactical fit becomes, incredibly exciting. If we're looking at his style of play, scouts are defining him as a natural, recuperator. And that his course, and that has been termed as his core strength. This means that he excels at winning the ball back, not just through aggressive tackles, but primarily through intelligent positioning, anticipation and cutting passing lanes. It speaks of someone like Michael Carrick. Yeah, he covers the ground when out of position through smart movement, not brute force. Now, on the ball, he possesses the two non-negotiable tactical or technical attributes for a modern top-tier holding midfielder: press resistant and vertical progression. First, press resistance. Scouting reports actually repeatedly highlight his ability to receive the ball in tight spaces. If you look at Manchester United's build-up over the last few years, the moment defensive midfielder receives the ball under pressure, the whole structure can collapse. Orozco is the kind of player who maintains composure in those high-pressure scenarios. Gives you Kobe Minu vibes, even though they're not trying to compare him to Kobe Minu because they're both different types of player. He ensures that the ball is secure, and he ensures secure ball retention against sophisticated pressing schemes of the Premier League. I've seen some highlights and I see what is meant by secure ball retention. He is very press resistant, he's strong, and all of that. Now, second, vertical progression. This technical mandate is always to basically, his technical mandate is always to play forward. This means Orozco isn't just a horizontal passer, keeping the ball safe. He actively actually looks to break the lines of the opposition's midfield with incisive vertical passes. That rapid progression is essential for Rúben Amorim's high-tempo structured build-up system, allowing the team to bypass the press quickly and launch attacks. His style is perfectly aligned with the United needs. With what United needs. A progressive, press-resistant anchor who can also screen the defense. I've always been talking about it in all my videos when I talk about the defensive midfielder's capability in Rúben Amorim's system to be able to screen the defense with intelligence and with discipline. And Orozco is that profile of a player, an athlete, and that's what Rúben Amorim demands. Even if Rúben Amorim is not here, the next manager would benefit from a player like Cristian Orozco. Now, the start and the gap is what we're going to look into and talk about why he was looked at and signed almost immediately. Now, let's address the statistics, because he hasn't made a senior debut, so we don't have the advanced metrics like successful tackle percentage or long pass accuracy from a professional league, but we can look at the environment where he has excelled. The Under-17 South American Championship in 2025. In that high-stakes tournament, Orozco was indispensable. He played in 5 of the 6 documented matches, starting all 5, completing a full 90 in 4 of them, and he was deployed exclusively as a defensive midfielder. His consistent involvement in the group stage, semi-finals, and final confirms his absolute tactical resilience, his absolute tactical reliance, and his physical robustness throughout an intensive tournament schedule. Now, he is validated at the elite international youth level, but this brings us to the biggest challenge, the massive hurdle he has yet to clear, and that is his weakness and the pathway to the first team. We have to be honest. Orozco is a risk, no doubt. His primary weakness is a glaring one: 0 minutes of his senior professional football. That one is a fact, but he's only 17, so we shouldn't expect that. Now, the gulf intensity, the pace and physicality between South American youth football and the Premier League is absolutely immense. The physical adaptation alone, handling the contact and the sustained speed of the English game will also be a multi-year challenge. But because of this risk, Orozco is not arriving as a replacement for Casemiro. Instead, he is the post-Casemiro succession plan, with the Brazilian veteran showing signs of a decline and struggling to consistently maintain the pace of the Premier League midfield. United needs a long-term solution, and Orozco is that solution, but he will take time. In his development pathway, starting in the summer 2026, will be crucial, and likely phase. He will probably even go into the academy and play a couple games and then prop up his speed ahead of the 2026. Now, Phase 1 will potentially be the 2026-2027. The year must also be dedicated to this is what should be done with regards to his development pathway, starting from the summer of 2026. And this will be crucial and likely phase. So we're going to break it down into different phases. First, phase 1, which is 2026-2027. This year must be dedicated to physical condition and cultural acclimatization to quarantine. He will integrate into the under 21 squad, focusing on bulking up, which is already he's already a beast already. Like, he's massive. I showed you a video, a picture in one of our live streams, I think. Then he also needs to build tactical discipline in European context and also adjusting to the intensity of training. And then phase 2 will now be 27 to 2028. This is the most crucial stage and the most critical stage, the competitive senior loan. Like, he most likely or absolutely must gain high volume senior minutes in a demanding league like the Championship or top tier Dutch or Belgian league. This is where he will bridge the huge gap in competitive experience, accelerate his decision making, and also truly test his physical readiness. There's a chance that he might go on loan, but we shall continue to observe. Now, phase 3 will now be the 2028 and beyond, where he's already all grown and all of that. On that, only after basically successful competition of a high level loan can we expect Orozco to be genuinely ready for consistent first team inclusion or even competitive squad rotation at Old Trafford. By 2028, which is the phase 3, we might expect a player to be already 20 years old or 21 years old, and he will already, have been able to deliver. Maybe looking at by the time he turns 18, if you add 3 years, that will be 20, he'll be 21. So he would have been mature enough and, be at a high level and consistently deliver. Right now, the final verdict and the future of Manchester United midfield. So the question will now be: does Cristian Orozco improve Manchester United's midfield? Yes, definitely. But his impact is strategic and not immediate. It's not one that we just want to sign the player now and he's just going to come straight into our lineup. No, he improves our future midfield structure by providing a technical, progressive, and disciplined anchor that has been sorely missed basically since the days of Michael Carrick, like I said at the beginning of this show. Basically, he improves our squad culture by being a low-cost, high-potential acquisition that validates the new smart recruitment strategy, and he improves our tactical depth by being perfectly suited to the specific demands of Rúben Amorim's system. This isn't just about bringing in a single player. It is a statement of intent. It is United finally acting smarter in the transfer market, giving themselves a chance to find the next generation of superstars before anyone else. This move is a litmus test for the club's new leadership, and if they can successfully execute the development plan for Orozco, this $1 million investment might just pay off with a generational talent who stabilizes the Manchester United midfield for the next decade. Now, this is the kind of quiet, strategic deal, that ultimately defines a successful era at Manchester United. Now, let me know what you think about this. Is this the right move for Manchester United? Can Man United develop Orozco into the player he needs to be? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of Manchester United and things like this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything with regards to Manchester United. Also, let me know in the comment section, is Orozco the next best thing Manchester United has? And does he go into the first team in 2026? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.